what it did and what the book, is really all about.
Okay, so back when I wrote the book, so I'll date myself. So back when I wrote the book, almost 20 years ago, and it's been updated since then with information. But I was experiencing what I would call the two Fs. I was fat and frustrated, and I was trying I had gained weight. I was in my mid-30s, and was just finding that the weight wasn't coming off. I tried all different types of diet and exercise programs, and it's like I'd lose a couple pounds, and then. As you know, I'm Greek, so I remember this one time I struggled for like 90 days, exercising every day of the week. I was dieting strict. I was torturing myself, and I just lost a couple pounds. I'm like, man, I should be losing more than this. And I go to a big family Greek wedding and
ruin it all.
Yeah, it's like, well, Greek weddings are like a 3-day food orgy. It's just like, 200 plus people minimum. It's usually like 500, and all we do is eat
and drink ouzo
and drink everything else. It's whatever's there we drink. So what happened is, I gained more weight in 2 days than I lost in 90 days, and I was like, this just is not working. So through trial and error, I found out a lot of programs out there didn't work for me, and I found out that what most experts say of all you got to do is cut calories and exercise. And I can tell you that for most people that doesn't work, because it wasn't working for me. And I found that there were certain things that once I corrected in the body, the weight just came off quickly. And so what happened is I didn't use it. I tried every program on the market, but they weren't working. And through trial and error, I put my own together. And then I lost the weight very rapidly. So as you saw in the pictures, and you just said the inches off the waist, It happened quick, and it stayed off. And so then I went to, a year later, another family wedding, because Greeks just get married like 5 times a year.
Everyone's getting married.
Yeah, so I went to another family wedding, and I didn't tailor my clothes, and everything was loose and hanging. I didn't think to put on my clothes. I'm like, oh my God, they're tightened up the belt. And I went. My family was like, oh my God, what'd you do? Your clothes are hanging. I go, well, I did this thing I put together. I ate this. I didn't eat this. They go, we want to try it. So
that's how you wrote the book.
Yeah. So they all tried it. They all lost weight. Their friends called me, and it wasn't a business then. It wasn't anything. It was just me wanting to be healthy, and their friends started losing weight. Then I ended up writing the book, and then the book led to me offering some unique anti-aging health products that assisted people with that weight loss.
And that's how you started Health Direct, which is your fitness company. Mm-hmm. Now you said for you, changing like the amount of food you were eating didn't make a difference, because I know people ask me all the time, like, oh my God, how do you stay in such great shape? I'm kind of lucky. Like, a lot of people hate me because I'm one of those people that, like, my whole life I ate whatever I wanted. I could never gain an ounce, and I actually started working out to gain weight. And now I've gotten older, obviously, so I will notice, things here and there, and I have to, be a little more cautious of it. But I've never been on a diet. But for me, if I do see that I'm starting to, like, maybe, get a little bit thicker, if I just cut my portion size down, I right away will lose those inches and cut out drinking. But that wasn't really the case with you? Yeah,
that wasn't working for me, what I found for a lot of people. And I'm sort of the opposite. I've got to focus on keeping the weight off. So I'm not one of those that's
genetically
blessed like you or a few other people that I know, where I can eat anything. I mean, I've got to watch what I eat, or just know how my body works. And I mean, when I grew up, I was an overweight little kid too. I was always a little chubby and self-conscious. So it's always been with me and conscious. So what I found is, and for a lot of people out there, is the eating and the exercise doesn't do it, because, and I talk about this in my book and my programs and the products I developed to assist people, is that there are certain things in the body that change, and they especially change when we age. So one of them is we are exposed to toxins in the environment. So even if we eat clean, the air we breathe, the water we drink, just the environments we're around, we get toxins in our body. The average person has between 4 to 20 pounds of built-up toxins in their body. The other thing is hormones change. They change.
I'm dealing with that.
Yeah, you probably know about that.
Fun.
Women all know about the hormones changing. Well, it happens to the men too. Then the other thing, there's other hormones that just get affected by our lifestyle, by stress, by how we eat, by overconsumption of carbohydrates. One of those would be cortisol. And when the stress cortisol raises, even if it's not an aging response, once that hormone goes up, it doesn't matter how much you exercise and you diet, it all gets stored as fat, and it usually gets stored around the waistline. So the other thing is correcting cortisol in the body. And as you and I both have talked in the past, cortisol is related to adrenal issues. And you and I both experienced that in the past.
Absolutely.
As well.
And I still do with that. And you know what's interesting? I just had all my hormone panels tested. And I don't know if I shared this with you, but my hormone panels came back like normal, which I was like, okay, that's weird. Like, what's going on then? But what was interesting is the cortisol was showing, typically cortisol is the lowest in the evening. And mine was the highest before bed or during sleep. And so I started doing some research online, and I was finding that they were saying if you're online, which a lot of times if I can't sleep, I'll pick up my phone, which we all do, and I'll start shopping or I'll start, going on Twitter or do whatever. And that's stimulating your body to cause your cortisol levels to go up. So mine were most active in the evening, which they're supposed to be lowest in the evening.
Lower side. Yeah. And that's why people don't sleep as deep too. When those cortisol levels go up, and that was happening to me. Mine were down in the morning when they should have been up for, when they go up, it's for energy. They were down in the morning. Mine were sky high through the roof, back years ago. And so I wasn't sleeping. When you don't get a deeper night's sleep, you don't have as proper energy during the day, and you definitely don't lose weight. So that's part of the thing. And you're right about this. Even the light off of a cell phone will affect people's melatonin levels, which is another hormone, and their cortisol and adrenal hormones. So that's just a little factoid for everyone. You don't want to turn on your phone and stare at it right before you're going to sleep.
That's why we're all supposed to sleep with eye guards. My husband
blacked out window, eye guards.
My husband
guard
sleeps,
at the door.
My husband's going to kill me, but that I'm saying this on air. But he sleeps with an eye guard because he likes to have it just really dark and cozy. And now, that takes me into one of your products that I absolutely love, which is the Sculpt and Cleanse. I'm sorry, not this. Well, I love that too, but the AminoSculpt, and that AminoSculpt is the liquid collagen, and that helps with the cortisol levels.
Yeah, that helps with a number of things. It's also helping with. It's also an anti-aging product where it helps with beauty, and we can talk about that in a little while because all the women are going to be interested in their hair, skin, and nails. But
and it does make a difference. I stopped taking it for a while, and my hair wasn't as lustrous. Like now I'm back on it, and my hair is thicker and shinier, and I'm sleeping better. I notice a huge difference.
Well, that's awesome, and that's what women notice. Their hair grows quicker and their nails. But I'm sort of getting ahead of myself. So if you want to know about beauty, hang in there for a few minutes.
Okay.
But for the weight loss, what it does for the body, the weight loss, the hormone levels, is basically it's collagen protein. So what AminoSculpt is collagen peptides. So what most people are familiar with collagen with is basically beauty, but also has a shaping effect on the body. It helps to trim and shape the body. And going back to one of the problems I found that why most people don't lose weight, or when they lose weight on other diets, why they gain it back, is because most diets, the average diet that people go on, 1 out of 4 pounds of their weight loss is muscle. So 3 pounds fat, 1 pound muscle. And whenever you're on a weight loss program, or you want to trim up, especially if you're for a woman. So I want to tell women, if you're listening, listen to this really closely right now. You want to gain muscle. You don't want to lose muscle. You want to gain it. Because what happens is as we age, past the age of about 25, our muscle levels start declining, usually about 3 to 5% per 10 years. When we hit 50, it's about 1 to 2% a year.
Wow.
So that's why you can be at the same weight at age 40 or 45 that you were when you were 18, but your body looks different. It's because the difference is it's not the weight, is you have more muscle and you're firmer and toner when you're younger. So what I focus on is a diet that maintains the muscle, because muscle, by the way, also increases the metabolism. So the more muscle on your body, the more metabolism. Then if you're like me and you're Greek, that means the more you can eat. So you want some more muscle too. But
it protects your bones.
Yeah, it protects your bones. It protects your organs. And by the way, most people think muscle is like, oh, it's my biceps, it's my muscles on your body. But all of our organs are muscles. All of our hormones, everything is affected by protein and muscle in the body. So what you want to do is beyond just being firm and toned, you want more muscle tissue, because it's the formation and the size and the health of your organs and internal parts as well. So what AminoSculpt does is collagen protein happens to be different than other proteins.
I was just going to ask, how is it different?
Yeah, so it's different because all proteins contain amino acids. And the difference between a rice protein and a vegetable protein and a whey protein and a steak, a fish, and egg is just the amino acid profile. That's what makes them different. Some are more efficient at building the body, and some are less efficient. Now, with AminoSculpt, with collagen peptides have the highest amount of high nitrogen amino acids, and those amino acids, they actually build muscle. So a lot of people take whey protein out there. It's very common. Collagen protein has 451% more glycine, 333% more arginine. Those two amino acids alone help build muscle tissue. They also help repair skin tissue. They also help repair wounds. So that all applies to beauty in a few moments. So they also maintain muscle tissue on the body. Also, collagen protein, unlike all the others, contains two amino acids that no other protein contains. It's called hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine. And those once again repair muscle tissue, tissue, meaning skin. That's the beauty effect. They increase muscle tissue. So they're helping to preserve and build muscle in the body. So when you when you look at my before and after pictures, people go, "Oh, you must have worked out a lot." And I was like, actually, no, I worked out about 3 times a week for about 30 to 40 minutes, and that was it. And I wasn't even doing aerobics then. Wow. I wasn't even doing any, not aerobics, but aerobic exercise because I was losing
cardiovascular exercise.
I not that I'm against it, but I was losing the weight too quickly. I was just doing it, and I had hurt my back at the time, so I was limited on what I could do there. So when you see the pictures, it was limited exercise. It was the diet that really got me sort of ripped up looking or toned up and firm, and the collagen protein or collagen peptides from AminoSculpt that preserved the muscle. So I didn't lose muscle. I actually gained it. Now, if you're a woman listening, back to that, the idea is not to build big bulging muscles.
You want the long, lean muscles.
Yeah, long, lean, firm, and toned muscles, and that's what it'll do for you. So when you're cutting your calories back or you're dieting or doing anything, the collagen peptides and AminoSculpt will stop muscle breakdown. It'll actually encourage the bodies to be firm and toned and gain some. So.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive more into the collagen because I know that all my listeners want to know the beauty side of the collagen.
Sounds great.
Martian.
Cuisine for 50 years. El Matador restaurant has the OC Weekly award-winning margaritas with a choice of over 200 tequilas to suit your taste. The tradition continues at El Matador on Newport Boulevard at 18th Street in Costa Mesa and on the web, elmatadorcostamesa.com.
Chris Riggins Construction in Huntington Beach is family-owned and operated, specializing in residential room additions and remodels, providing quality craftsmanship, service, and competitive pricing. For more information, chrisrigginsconstruction.com. That's chrisrigginsconstruction.com.
Heston Graphics for all your printing needs. With 40 years experience in the Newport Harbor area at 3851 Birch Street in Newport Beach and on the web at hestongraphics.com. Printers and graphic designers building the bridge between design and printing. It's Heston Graphics, 949-474-9111 and on the web at hestongraphics.com. 949-474-9111. Dope.
And we are back on KOCI Radio 101.5 FM, KOCI Radio, KOCIRadio.com. So I'm here with my guest, Jim Caras from Health Direct and the book, How to Completely Reshape Your Body. We were talking before the break, in case anyone's just joining us, about collagen and how collagen affects our body and can really help our body with muscle building and losing weight. And we can touch base on that a little more. And then I want to go into the beauty benefits because I know so many women out there will be dying to know the beauty benefits of collagen.
Okay. So yeah, on the weight loss part, so what I focus on in the book is, like I mentioned, getting toxins out of the body, correcting the hormones, digestive issues, by the way. Most people have digestive issues. The other great thing about collagen protein or peptide, the peptide form, regular collagen, no. Peptides mean that the product is pre-digested and broken down, so there's no absorption needed, no digestion needed, so it absorbs immediately in the body. So
let me to cut you off for a second, excuse me, but I want to know then, Is that's what's in your product and some of the liquid collagen products, but when it comes to skincare, it's not broken down, correct?
Yeah, skincare, when you're using it topically, it's a whole different form. So collagen is a very thick molecule, and actually topically it has trouble of absorbing into the skin or the dermis. It's just, it may be there, but it's more the amino acids if they can get in. So
when they're trying to charge you hundreds of dollars for collagen, then it's a bunch of crap.
Well, it's some of it's good, some of it's not. If it's in an absorbable form, typically other ingredients or how they stimulate collagen is, or they stimulate is what it is. Other ingredients that you use topically will help to stimulate collagen production. So seldom do you have collagen that's absorbed in the skin. But what a lot of people don't know is when you take it internally, that you can, in the liquid form is the ideal, you can get all the benefits from collagen by taking it internally. And you can get more than just skin. There's weight loss, there's sleep, collagen is your joints. So, I mean, let me just talk about collagen real quick.
Well, I am a testimonial because I've been taking your products, and I have to say that I told you I stopped for a while, and then I started back. And when I take it, I do notice that my skin has more of a glow, and it seems a little plumper. So that's definitely, I think,
you'll notice that. Women typically notice for the hair, skin, and nail benefits is they'll notice that their hair grows quicker and thicker, or when they'll have less hair loss. So, a lot of, like my girlfriend Alicia, she's told me when she first started taking it, it wasn't a commercial. We were just dating, and she had started trying. She goes, "Oh, I'll try your collagen." She goes, "You know what? I have less hair coming out when she has beautiful long hair." And
she does have gorgeous hair.
Yeah, she was like, "You know what? Less hair is coming out when I noticed in the shower, and her hair got thicker." And then what women also notice is their nails grow.
Now that hasn't worked on me yet. Darn it! Yeah. I'm waiting for the nail help.
Yeah, the longer you use it, if you use it consistently, the nails take longer to grow out, of course.
Okay.
So when you use it for like 60, 90 days, what women will notice is their nails get strong and hard. So if they have acrylics, almost they don't need the acrylics anymore. So that happens. The skin, the fine lines, the wrinkles, the furrows, they become less noticeable. When you take collagen peptides, what it's doing. I'm jumping ahead to the beauty. Let's just nail the beauty. It's fun.
Just go and dive into the beauty, because that's all everyone cares about in Orange County, right?
Yeah. So when you do collagen protein, it's basically doing two things. It's adding collagen protein to your body, and it's helping your body to stimulate the growth of its own. So that's really important. So back to collagen in general. Now this will make sense. So the reason why everyone should take a collagen supplement is because what most people don't know is they're collagen deficient. So past the age of 25, we start losing about 1 to 1.5% of our collagen per year. So by the time someone's 40, they've probably lost about 20% of their collagen, and that's a collagen deficiency.
That's scary.
Yeah, and what collagen is collagen, next to water, most of your body is protein. And of that protein, 30% of your body's protein is collagen, and it's what we call type 1, and that's what's in amino. It's called type 1 collagen peptides. And type 1 collagen peptides, in your body, they make up 90% of your hair, skin, and nails. They make up your brain, your lungs. They surround every muscle tissue in your body. They surround all the connecting tissue of your ligaments, your joints. So that's why when people add collagen back to their diet, they notice the hair, skin, and nails, because 90% of our hair, skin, and nails is collagen, and we're losing it over time.
Now, what's the best way for people to take it? You offer it in a liquid form, which is great, and I think there's other companies out there, obviously, as well. Do they make tablets? What's the best?
Yeah, what's available out there is there's capsules or tablets, there are powders, and then there's, like ours, a liquid. So in my experience taking it, now with collagen protein, here's something that I'm going to just totally say is a myth out there, and it really upsets me when I see people going and grabbing a cheap bottle of collagen off of a shelf there that's pills or powders. Is they say take 2 to 4 a day. Okay, well, when you take collagen protein, what's really important is that you need to have a heavy dose of it, or it doesn't work. 1 to 2 grams isn't going to do much for you. You need to take a minimum of 8, closer to 16 grams of collagen. And really the only efficient way to do that's in a liquid, because like we get 16 grams in 1 little ounce of liquid that's a great cherry or mango taste. If you were to take that in pills, you'd need about 15 to actually 20 to 30 pills. No one's going to take 20, 30 pills a day. But they're not telling you that when you buy these products. They say just take a couple. Well, a couple's not going to work. The powder is the same thing. You'd have to be 2, 3, 4 scoops of powder, and powders are typically not the best tasting thing. And they sort of clump up, and you got to stir them and drink them. They're inconvenient. So in our experience, the liquid's the best. And also the reason the liquid is the best, not only is it's highly concentrated, the liquid is the only form that, and this is the basis of our product. The liquid collagens have been used for 35 years in the medical community. They use them. They use them in hospitals to help people repair tissue after surgery. They're used in bariatric clinics for people losing weight. They're used for skin care when people have burns in skin care hospitals. They're used for dialysis for people taking dialysis because the protein's stripped out of their blood. It helps to replace energy and protein levels in the blood. It's used in convalescent hospitals. It helps to, there's actual published clinical studies where it helps to repair pressure ulcers, which are bed sores. Now, these are all the liquid form that's used, and basically, it's the liquid that we have. Ours is the original medically used one. It's not just one we've made up on our own somewhere else. So when you buy Aminoscope or use our peptides, this is the one with 6 U.S. patents that's been used for 35 years by over 4,700 medical professionals. So this isn't new. It's a whole history of use there. We're finally introducing it to the public. The public really doesn't know about it because it's been used in the medical profession all these years.
Now, what I love about yours is it's sugar-free as well, which is very important because a lot of them, they pack a lot of sugar in there. Now, who can take liquid collagen? Anybody?
Pretty much anyone. Because
could my kids take it?
Your kids could take it. It's great for the kids or for elderly because it's just, when you break it down, it's just protein. So if a person can eat, fish, eggs, steak, chicken, or vegetable proteins, it's just a protein. So it's almost like a food grade supplement. So there's really no harm to taking it. Plus, it's actually better than those because those you have to break down and digest. The collagen you don't. And the other thing is collagen, a lot of people don't know, because it's native to our body, it's natural to our body. Like soy protein, whey protein. No one ever went into a doctor, Peggy, and the doctor said, you know what, you might be whey protein deficient. Or you have a deficiency in soy, or you know what, you have a chicken deficiency. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. But people have collagen deficiencies. So collagen is native to the body. It's natural. So it's hyperallergenic. There's no allergy reaction. So people that have trouble with other food sources because of allergies can take the collagen protein. And it's also, besides the beauty benefits, it's a great source of protein. So if people want extra protein in their diet, by 1 little ounce, they're getting 16 grams in a day. That's like eating almost 3 eggs.
That would be great for my daughter London because she has an issue with milk. And so we don't, she doesn't really eat milk. And now we're trying to do the whole gluten-free, and so this would be a great alternative. Now, so I think for when I take it, it's 1 tablespoon, is it? Or
yeah, you can do 1 or 2 tablespoons for maximum. 2 tablespoons is 1 ounce. I keep saying 1 ounce so people know. So 2
tablespoons once a day or twice a day?
Yeah, you can just do it once a day. So you can take 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons at bedtime.
Now, what about for a kid? Do you think cut that in half, maybe?
No, they can do 1 or 2. They can do a half or 1. I would do a half, maybe twice a day, or 1 tablespoon twice a day, or you can do 2. People, clinically, the product is used up to 60, 80 grams a day. So you can't really overdo it with it. So if someone needs protein in their body, they could take an ounce. What I usually recommend is an ounce in the morning and an ounce at night. And I'll give you an example how safe it is. About 10 years ago, my mother had open heart surgery, quadruple bypass. The next day, because I knew what collagen did in repairing tissue, the next day when she woke up in the hospital, I had the collagen protein there sitting there, and I started dosing her on about 4 to 5 ounces a day, which is about 60 to 75 grams of collagen protein. Okay, so what supplement out there would you give your mother that just got done with open heart surgery where you take the dose and quadruple the dose and it'd be okay?
Vitamin C.
Yeah, vitamin C you could. But even for some people, even vitamin C gets a little toxic. And it's not toxic, but it's a little too much for them. But it's just protein. So it's perfectly safe. So for a kid, now elderly, it works great for elderly too, because a lot of elderly people, or the older we get, let me go back and scale into the 30, 40, and 50-year-olds.
Well, before you do that, I just want to give out our phone number, because if we do have any callers that want to call in, I would love for them to call in, and that way they can ask you any questions. So if you want to call in, the number is 949-650-1015. That's 949-650-1015. Now tell me all that you were going to tell me.
Okay. So for let's start back and say, well, for elderly people, so if people have their parents out there or there's elderly people listening, the older we get, the less our bodies are less able to break down and absorb proteins. So you can eat a piece of chicken, egg, fish, and you may not be absorbing all the protein. And that's why as people get older, they part of the reason their muscle tissue declines is because they're not absorbing and getting the protein that builds muscle tissue. So the older someone is, when they take Aminoscope, a lot of times they notice an energy pop from it too. They'll get more energy because a lot of people have a condition called PEM, protein energy malnutrition. And what that means is people they're just not absorbing their proteins. They're eating them, but not absorbing them, so they're not getting the energy from them. So people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s have this too. A lot of people have digestive issues, just different, just different forms of IBS, Crohn's, whatever the case is, even intolerances to gluten and stuff like that, where it's disrupting their digestive system. So when that happens, and they take collagen protein because it's native to the body, because there's no digestion needed, it just absorbs, they get an immediate energy pop and they're getting the protein they need. So it's a great protein source too.
Wonderful. I think we have a caller. We'll give it a few minutes. Give it a minute or two. Now, as far as your liquid collagen, tell me that I know you had told me it does not contain sodium benzoate, and is that or potassium sorbate, and are those in a lot of others? Those
are in almost every other liquid. Not only liquid collagen, they're almost in every liquid protein, and that's because. With proteins in a liquid form, you need preservatives. In most supplements, you need a preservative into it. So what takes place is that companies that make liquid supplements, they'll use sodium benzoate or potassium sorbate, and those are preservatives. And they've been used for years. They're fine, but ideally, if you can have it without it, you want it. We're the only ones that have been able to take those two preservatives, take them out, and actually naturally preserve the product. So when you take Aminoscope collagen peptides, you're getting the cleanest collagen supplement out there. And I know we have a caller coming in, so we'll come back to more on that in a minute.
All right, well, let's take a caller. We have Jenny. Jenny, you're on air. Are you there?
Hi, how are you? Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Jenny. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Newport Beach.
Oh, wonderful. Nice to have you on, and you're on with Jim Caras from Health Direct.
Hi, Jim. I'm calling. I have a question about your Aminoscope. I am trying to lose a little bit of weight, and I actually take your product and love it. But my trainer is having me take it in the morning, and I'm taking it kind of for a little bit of a meal replacement situation, and I don't do very well with the shakes or any of the powder stuff. But I've been doing good with the Aminoscope. Is it safe to take it as a meal replacement though? Because it doesn't seem like it's I'm not taking a whole lot of it.
Yeah, Jenny, that's a great question, and thanks for calling in. So Jenny, that leads to two things, and it's a great question because one is I can tell you why your trainer wants you to have protein in the morning, and why most people don't lose weight based on what they eat for breakfast. And two is we can talk about using collagen because I advise a lot of people this way. So let me take you back a step and let you know why your trainer is telling you to have protein in breakfast. And this is something that I think everyone deserves to hear out there. And then two, how collagen can work. And yes, it is completely safe that way. So why your trainer suggested that to you is when we sleep at night, our body's in a state of repair. And probably one of the biggest stumbling blocks to losing weight that I see people do is they don't have a proper breakfast. So what a proper breakfast is 20 to 30 grams of protein in your breakfast, no matter what you eat. Most people have some toast, some coffee, a bagel, a pastry.
I have a hard-boiled egg.
Or one hard-boiled egg, or they just have something light and then they're done. Okay, the breakfast should be one of your biggest meals of the day. And what you'll notice by doing that is you'll burn more fat. Ironically, you burn more fat and you're less hungry through the day as well. And especially if you have 20 to 30 grams. So when your body is in a state of repair because you're sleeping all night, it needs protein first thing in the morning to repair itself. If you don't give your body 20 to 30 grams of protein, what's going to happen is your body stays in a state of repair, and it starts breaking down muscle tissue. Your metabolism slows down, you stop losing weight, and you actually gain weight. So that's what happens when people have a little to no breakfast or don't have protein in it. When they do have proper amounts of protein in it, it stops the breakdown, it increases the metabolism, it increases the muscle build, and you start losing weight all day long. So let's end.
But I would think that she should do both this, the Immunosculpt, as well as maybe like a hard-boiled egg.
I agree, and that's why you're right on, Peggy.
Tell your trainer you're eating.
Well, when I go into the gym in the morning, I'm not a breakfast eater. I'm just not an egg eater. I'm more into meat and heavier meals. So breakfast for me is a really hard one. I had a trainer before that had me on these shakes, and the shakes were just too much for me. I don't like the shakes. This is the first trainer that actually told me that this was enough for me to start having before I came into the gym in the morning before our sessions. I was just curious to see if he was correct on that fact that this is enough for me to, I'm having great workouts and I'm having great results. And I do eat some healthy stuff after the gym, but I just found it interesting that this collagen is something that I'm using now as kind of a little bit of a replacement meal before I go to the gym in the morning.
Yeah, and that's a perfect point. When you go to the gym in the morning, you don't want a big meal in your tummy. B is the less you have in there, the more body fat you'll lose. But you're missing, if you don't have anything, then your body's breaking down its muscle. So the perfect thing about using Immunosculpt collagen peptides in the morning is it's getting you pre-digested protein. It stops the breakdown. It gives you the fuel for the workout. It'll make your body secrete more growth hormone because of the amino acids in it, which will burn more body fat. And so, and it's just like an ounce. So I would take an ounce and a half, do it right before you go work out, and that's what you're doing is perfect. Now, if someone has breakfast, what Peggy was talking about is if they're not working out first thing in the morning, then what they would do is they would take, they want 20 to 30 grams of protein. So that most people don't want to eat 3 eggs. So that could be 1 egg and 1 ounce of Immunosculpt liquid peptides. Or it could be a Greek yogurt is 15, I'm Greek, so I got to promote the Greek yogurt now. No, but Greek yogurt, different from other yogurts, is high in protein. So 1 Greek yogurt is about 15 grams of protein.
Or like those veggie sausages are great.
Yeah, veggie sausages. So just watch the protein count, get it up there, use the Immunosculpt to help bridge the gap so you don't have to eat a bunch of those. But like you said, if you're working out, taking Immunosculpt on an empty stomach's perfect. A lot of people work out in the morning and they make the mistake of rolling into the gym with nothing in their body, and it just compounds it, and they tear muscle tissue down instead of build it and increase their metabolism.
Okay, great. Yeah, I love your products, and by the way, I love your new flavors.
Oh, thank you. And
I'm a sour fan, so I like your cherry. So thank you so much for adding some new flavors to that. And thank you so much for your advice on my workout.
Thanks for calling in, Jenny. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So now going back to that, so maybe what I want to do, because I take it at night, maybe I want to break it up and do 1 tablespoon with breakfast and then do 1 tablespoon before bed. You could do it that way. What I'd recommend for people is if they're having enough, I would recommend people use it in the morning as an additional protein source if they need it. If they don't need it in the morning, then take it all at bedtime. But like you just said, why? Okay, so at bedtime, what happens is you get the extra benefit of more weight loss and better sleep and better tissue repair. So what happens when we sleep is, like I said, our body goes into... The purpose of sleep is to repair the body and build it. And how the body does that is it breaks down our tissue or uses what's in our system to basically repair muscles, and it's breaking down protein. It needs protein, so it's breaking down our muscle for amino acids. When you take the collagen protein at night, your body doesn't break down its muscle tissue, it preserves it, your metabolism increases, so in a sense, it's helping your body to burn more fat. So when you take it at bedtime on an empty stomach, you're gonna increase your metabolism more,
you're going to actually lose more weight and burn more body fat while you sleep all night, which is ideal. Now, if you want additional protein, you can take it half and half, so you get an extra, maybe 8 grams. It's 16 grams per ounce, so take a tablespoon at bedtime and a tablespoon in the morning. If you need more protein in the morning, take an ounce and an ounce. And then the other benefit we were talking about is sleep. So the reason collagen protein is different than other proteins is because it's very high in glycine. Now, and this is another reason the pills and the powders don't work for this, is that when we take a half ounce to an ounce of AminoSculpt, it's more concentrated, higher levels of collagen, which means you get a lot of the amino acid glycine. What glycine has been shown to do is it helps people, clinical studies have shown that it helps people sleep deeper and better. So what a lot of people used to tell us with AminoSculpt when we first started selling it, which was mainly for weight loss and body toning and hair, skin, and nails, they go, Jim, I'm sleeping better. I mean, 80% of the people are telling me that they're sleeping better on it. And when we did the research on it, we found that the amino acid in collagen protein, which is, like I said, glycine, much higher level than all the other proteins. There's so much of it there that it's causing people to sleep better, and people wake up more refreshed and they feel better. So that's a side. That's what I call
all right,
a side benefit.
That's it. I'm definitely getting London on it. My daughter London, because she needs help with her sleep too. She has sleep issues. I have a tweet from Maria in New York.
Okay.
And this isn't so much about the collagen, but it's about diet. Mm-hmm. And she is asking me, in your opinion, is the paleo or Mediterranean better? Do you have advice on either one?
It's going to come down to a person's, when it comes down to dietary eating patterns, I'm going to say it's going to come down to a person's body and what works best for them. And the only way they're going to know that is there was a book that was written called The Metabolic Diet Type. That most people don't know about it, but it did a really interesting study. And this is years ago. And it tracked down people's, it looked at their heritage, and they said, let's look at a person's heritage and what they eat, because a lot of people say, you need to be a vegetarian, and then there's people, you need to eat meat. And so what they notice is if you took an Eskimo whose basic diet is fat and protein, meat and fat, and you put them on a vegetarian diet, you pretty much kill them. If you took someone in a tropical area that's pretty much fruit and vegetables and put them on a meat diet, you pretty much kill them too. So what happens is our bodies adjust, our genetics adjust over time, our heritages come into play, so our bodies actually will respond better to different diets. So back to this person. They're both fine programs to be on, and you would experiment with what works best. The Mediterranean diet actually has the most scientific clinical studies on it. They've studied the people in the Mediterranean region. You've got the Spaniards, the Italians, the Greeks, everyone through that area. They've shown that because they eat diets that are higher in omega-3s through the seafood and everything they eat, moderate on the carbs. It's not like here Italian food. It's not like pizza, white flour and pasta.
Well, there's everything over there is non-GMO.
Yeah, it's non-GMO.
The problem in America here is in the U.S. we've got all the GMOs.
We've tampered with everything. Yeah, so it's going to be down. I would experiment with both. I would say if you're going to start with one or the other, start with the Mediterranean, then work to the paleo, and then eliminate certain foods and see what works best for you.
We have another caller, and Micah is you and Micah are both. He's part Greek, and so we do a lot of Mediterranean, and the kids love it too. And I think it's just with the oils and the balsamics, and that's I don't even use salad dressing. I just put a little olive oil and a little balsamic, and we love it.
Yeah, let me just say, on either program, the big thing is to to really limit the starches you intake. Really cut back on the white flour, the sugar. Eat more whole grains, or even away from the grains. Eat really good, clean starches, and eliminate the starches as much as you can at nighttime at dinner. Have them in the morning, have them at lunch, but eliminate them at nighttime.
Yeah, I always say no carbs after like 2:00 and then no food after 6:00. That's kind of my
that's a good rule.
I think we're going to take another caller, Eric, I believe. So do we have a Rip? Are we going to? All right, Eric, you are live on air with Peggy Tanous here at Keeping It Real with Peggy Tanous and Jim Caras. Are you there, Eric?
I am.
Thanks for calling in. What's your question today?
Well, I just want to, I heard that Jim was online, and I jumped on it. Was listening to him talk about the AminoSculpt, and I was just going to share my own experience with using the AminoSculpt to supplement, my training. And I'm a former pro bodybuilder, so I know a lot of people kind of question the amount of protein they need and the sources and things like that. And
excellent.
I just wanted to kind of give my input on my experience.
Okay, yeah, we appreciate it. So let's hear your so you've been taking the product. How long have you been taking the product for?
Oh gosh, at least a couple of years. Jim first let me try the product. He knows I'm a pro bodybuilder, and so I'm always looking for ways to supplement in protein. I train hard. I do run. I'm probably one of a handful of bodybuilders that actually runs, and so I know my body's breaking down on a continual basis daily. So I'm always looking for ways to supplement in protein that's, not just taking it in, but actually having my body use it. So when he first introduced it, I was like, oh, wow, 2 tablespoons, 16 grams of protein. I don't know if my body's that's going to be enough. And
you didn't think it was going to be enough?
I didn't think it was enough because, again, it's coming from a bodybuilding background.
Well, true, yes.
We're taking in, 50. We're used to 50 grams and 2 scoops of protein. Just kind of my norm prior to taking amino sculpt, and that was at least twice a day, sometimes 3 times. And what I found was that one, I'm slightly lactose intolerant, so I'm very careful with my protein source, but it has to be an isolate. But even at times, I still bloat. So I was, in an indirect way, looking for another source, and so. When he introduced the amino sculpt, he said, "Why don't you take 4 tablespoons? That's going to give you like 32 grams." And I did that for a while, and then one of the things I noticed was that my body, even with 2 tablespoons, was doing really well. I was able to maintain my body weight, and
that's great.
I don't use 4 anymore. I use 2, and I use it twice a day in the morning, whenever my testosterone is highest, and so my body can assimilate protein much more efficiently that way. And then in the evening, so it's 2 and 2 now instead of 4 and 4, and I'm still maintaining. I'm 5'5", I'm 45 years old, and I'm still maintaining 190 pounds. I do work out, and on a 4 times a week, but I run daily. And I do my cardio daily.
So are you a mango guy or a cherry guy?
You know what? I like them both. Mango's great. Cherry is, you can't go wrong with cherry. I think it's one of those traditional flavors.
Because mango's a new flavor, and I love it. I love the mango.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact that it's sugar-free, too. So that was a big concern with me in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Eric, have you noticed a difference on since you're running and you carry a lot of muscle mass on your body? Usually people that do that, it's a tremendous pounding on their joints. So when you're taking the amino sculpt, have you noticed a difference on your joints or, for injuries like on your elbow and stuff?
When I first started taking amino sculpt, I was running probably 2 miles, and that was prior to taking amino sculpt. And my joints, the only reason why I could go 2 miles is because that's all it probably did take before I started feeling them. And when I started taking amino sculpt, I just felt better about my run. So I increased it up to 3 miles, and I did that for over a year. And I've since backed off, but that's only because, as I'm aging, I'm also finding it harder to maintain the muscle mass. So 2 miles every day for me, along with the 4 tablespoons of amino sculpt spread out, has been great. So physique-wise, I'm exactly where I want to be. I hold probably 9% year-round, and I'm ready for summer all the time. So I'm happy about that. But definitely, as I've got, especially when I got to 40, I found it much more difficult to maintain the shape that I want and I expect with myself. So,
well, I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. So I wanted to just chime in and then say hello to Jim. Jim's a good friend, and I'm glad he introduced me to the product. I use other products from Health Direct too, but there's just with so many products out there, you just don't know what to expect. But everything that he told me was going to happen came to fruition with me. So I'm very thankful of that. And and I know that people are always kind of questioning how much protein source and all that. Amino sculpt is ready to go. I know that for sure. Just because my body, the way it recovers, and when I wake up, I'm just ready to go. So.
Well, I'm so glad you shared with us, Eric. And
thank you for calling in, Eric. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think we have another caller we're going to take right now. We've got on line 2, Todd. Are you there, Todd? You're on air live. Are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi, Todd. Thanks for calling in.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Not bad at all for a Monday.
Hey, the sun's out, so we're happy here in Newport.
The sun's out and I'm above ground, so that's a good thing.
So we're on with Jim Caras. Did you have a question for Jim today?
I did, actually. Thanks, Peggy. Thanks for taking the time to let me ask Jim a couple questions. So my questions, Jim, are I just recently got introduced to your Sculpting Cleanse, and I have to tell you that it's a super amazing product. I've tended to stay away from supplements in the past because they've been so hit or miss. But the people who have been using your products have just said amazing things about them, and I have to say that my personal experience has followed suit. So I'm very interested in learning about more of the stuff that you guys produce. Specifically for me, I'm 50. I've had a ton of surgeries. I've had 4 knee operations, pin in my ankle, total knee reconstruction.
Are you a stunt man? Jeez.
I'm sorry?
Are you a stunt man?
No, just maybe uncoordinated, and I fall down a lot.
Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to wrap you in some bubble wrap.
Exactly. I'm a walking airbag. So my question revolves around, what do you offer that would really help me with joint pain? I've got a lot of cartilage degeneration and meniscus that's probably worn a little thin, and I would definitely be interested in seeing what kind of products you had that could help me with that.
It's a great question.
Yeah, it would. I'd start with the aminos. Todd, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it, and it's a good question. Collagen protein, because it surrounds it's a major component of your ligaments and joints. It's surrounded. It's a major component of your bones.
Todd, do you mind holding on for a minute, and we'll answer your question? We've got to go to a break, and we can answer your question when we come back.
No worries. I'll be here.
Okay,
perfect.
Let's put you on hold for a minute. Thanks. We'll be right back. Shoot, sorry about that. We just kept going.
Longboard Restaurant and Pub in Huntington Beach is happening now. Cold beer, tasty food, and signature cocktails. Plus all major sports packages on 22 TVs. Longboard Restaurant and Pub on Main Street in Huntington Beach. longboardpub.com.
Positively perfect pet grooming serving Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, and surrounding areas since 1990. Heidi, the original owner and groomer, specializes in not keeping your dog all day. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. 949-756-2108. That's 949-756-2108.
When it's time for a smog inspection, you know your car or truck has to pass that inspection. Whether your vehicle is old or new, previously failed or a problem, or even a Star Center car, Fitzgerald's Auto Care can make most auto emission repairs, and once your vehicle passes, an oil change is included. AAA approved and right here in Costa Mesa at 2066 Placentia Avenue, it's Fitzgerald's Auto Care, 949-548-8877, and on the web at fitzautocare.com.
Authentic family Mexican cuisine for 50 years. El Matador restaurant has the KOCI Weekly Award-winning margaritas with a choice of over 200 tequilas to suit your taste. The tradition continues at El Matador on Newport Boulevard at 18th Street in Costa Mesa and on the web, elmatadorcostamesa.com.
Cabinet Wholesalers Refacing saves you huge money on your kitchen remodel. You get the function and style of a new kitchen at a much lower price by replacing worn-out doors and drawers with soft-close new ones in your choice of any of their high-end styles and finishes. Industry-leading quality with a 20-year warranty and the guaranteed lowest price. Cabinet Wholesalers also does full kitchen remodeling, including professional design and installation, with an impressive selection of new cabinets and countertops. Their Anaheim Hills showroom is open 7 days a week. 1-800-REFACING or 1-800-refacing.com.
And we are back. It's Keeping It Real with Peggy Tanous, KOCI Radio 101.5. And we have Todd on hold. Sorry about that, Todd, but we are back. So let's dive into what Jim was talking about.
Okay. And if you're just joining us, what Todd had asked a few moments ago is Todd's had a number of injuries to his knees and his joints and ligaments over the years. And he asked what products would be good for that. And I'd start with the collagen, because collagen, like I said, is 90% of a lot of our body tissues. Type 1 collagen is most of our body's collagen, and most of that collagen is around our bones, ligaments, joints, etc. And so when you add collagen to the body, you're building those ligaments, joints, bones back up. You're actually helping to recover from exercise and from rehab and from anything else. So step one would be collagen protein, because that's going to give your body the nutrients it needs to rebuild itself. Then I would say we have another product that goes hand in hand with it. That's an exclusive product. It's called Be Active. And what Be Active is, it's a joint, and I would say a joint and discomfort product. And what Be Active is, it's a really exclusive. It's an exclusive extract from a green lip mussel that comes from New Zealand. It has 35 years of use in clinical trials. It's new over in the U.S. We're the only ones that carry this form of it in the U.S. It's actually,
I might need to try that.
Yeah, it's what's unique about Be Active is that Be Active, unlike a lot of other pain products out there that just address pain mechanisms and they're just trying to get rid of pain, Be Active helps to build the joints and everything back up because it inhibits or stops collagen protein breakdown.
So I like Todd. I had ACL and meniscus replacement a few years ago, and that help with
it's
that.
Great for knees. So
Okay.
there's a lot of studies on it, published clinical studies that show that people that were actually going to have knee replacement surgery or had severe problems with the knees were able to improve their knees, where they were more mobile and felt better. The average response on it is most people find a discomfort relief of about 90%. The thing with it though, because it's built now, it's not like taking an aspirin that works in 2 hours.
I was going to say with all these products, it's about a month before you really start to notice a difference? 30 days?
Yeah, that's a good point, Peggy, because when you're doing these, what you're doing is you're building your body back up. It's not a mechanism where I'm relieving pain and the problem still exists. So
it's not instant gratification. That's not really helping.
Yeah, aspirin, your pain's gone, but it's doing nothing to reverse to correct the problem. Mm-hmm. When you take these, it's correcting it. So as you're building tissue, you're looking at seeing a response about 30, 45, 60 days for these type of things. If you're exercising like Eric, who just called in, who, by the way, if you're not familiar with Eric Bowie, he trains some of the top athletes in the country. He's a unknown little gem here in Orange County. We have one of the top trainers of athletes here, and so he uses it for recovery. So what he was mentioning is sort of ties to your question, Todd, is that he noticed that his joints didn't hurt when he ran. He could run longer because collagen protein helps to strengthen those joints, and it also helps to assist of aiding recovery. So as we all get older, the things we did when we were younger, where we would recover the next day, and then now, as we get older, we find that, they sort of hurt the next day, and then 3 days later they go away. When you take collagen protein, and I know it sounds like you're very active and you like to do, athletic or just very mobile type things, and so it would assist with your recovery. There was one study that was done at Penn State with a number of just average people who were doing exercises, and it showed that those people doing exercise, when they took collagen peptides, actually recovered quicker and had less incident of having injuries in the future because they were building their structure back up, so they were less prone to injuries. So collagen protein and then Be Active, which inhibits the collagen breakdown, is the ideal ones there.
That's fantastic. So Jim, how would I take these? So collagen protein, is that a powder that I mix in like a typical protein shake?
It's a liquid
product.
Yeah, it's the collagen protein called AminoSculpt is liquid. You would just take an ounce at bedtime. So just boom, a shot at bedtime is all you need.
And is Be Active liquid as well?
Be Active is a capsule product. You just need 2 of those a day. You take one at breakfast and one at dinner. Just sort of very simple.
Well, thank you so much for your call, Todd. I hope that he was able to answer your questions.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Jim. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks,
Peggy,
Todd.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And like Peggy said, whenever you, and this is for everyone out there, whenever you take products like this, you just need to give them time to work because they're rebuilding and strengthening the body. Nothing's an overnight fix. Don't look at that. Look at the long term with your body. We've taken 10, 20, 30 years to break down our body. You know what? We can take 90 days to rebuild it, be patient, and rebuild it back up. That's a lot better than waiting another 30 years to build it up.
Patience is hard for us Aries, though.
Absolutely.
Right, Jim?
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Todd.
Thanks,
Peggy,
Todd.
us Aries want it now.
We want it now, darn it. We want instant gratification. So we have about 5 minutes left, and I wanted to take this time because Todd mentioned, or you mentioned that something or about cleanses, and everybody is like on the kick of like, I got to do a juice cleanse or whatever it may be. And I've tried at home cleanses before. My mother-in-law's a naturopath. I've done the olive oil with the lemon juice, which is not the best. And I do a lot of the Bragg's, the apple cider vinegar, which is great. Yeah. But tell me about cleanses. You guys have a cleansing product. Are you a big believer in them? And what's the benefit of them? And are there specific ones for specific? I know there's like liver cleanses and all different. There's so many different ones. So what works?
Well, cleansing is a favorite topic of mine. When I wrote my book, my weight loss book, the other thing besides collagen protein it's based on cleansing. And I think because I did it 20 years ago, I think I'm probably one of the first people that had ever introduced cleansing with weight loss together. And our Sculpt and Cleanse product is, from what I've seen as it being sold in health food stores across the country, is that it's the only cleansing product that was ever geared towards weight loss, but it has all the other benefits of cleansing too. So Peggy, when I say that because I've been doing cleansing for 20 years and I've tried almost all of them. I tried the Master Cleanse. I've done crazy cleanses where I didn't eat for a week and I was taking thick sludge-like stuff and eating practically nothing. And so because I'm in the business and I've written about it, I've tried everything out there. And so here's what I can tell you. A is most of these things where you don't eat food for longer than a day are going to be harmful for your body because you're going to lose muscle tissue. You're going to lose water and muscle tissue. You're going to look at the scale. You're going to say, I lost weight, but what you really did is you lost muscle tissue and your metabolism is worse than it would have been. Now, if you want to go through more than a day of non-eating food and having juices and stuff like that out there, that's fine, but add what I instruct people to do is add AminoSculpt collagen protein because it's liquid pre-digested protein. It's not like eating food. You're getting the protein so your body doesn't break down muscle tissue, and you're maintaining your muscle and you're still getting your cleanse. So if you're going to cleanse longer than a day without food or protein, I should say, you need something like that.
Some protein replacement.
You need a protein replacement in there. Two is that everyone should cleanse. The average person has between 4 to 20 pounds of built up matter in their intestinal tract.
That's crazy.
And that's why if you see my before pictures, I had this protruding stomach that looked like, and you see a lot with guys.
Yeah.
They call it beer gut or whatever. Mine wasn't from beer. Mine was just, it looked like I swallowed a watermelon, It was just sort of there. But what that is that's the intestinal buildup. And that's why the other diets weren't working for me because they weren't getting rid of the toxins in there. And fiber doesn't get rid of the toxins. Fiber helps to sweep them out, but it's not breaking them down. So when I introduced cleansing in my diet, that's what really changed. That's why my waistline shrunk like 4 inches in just 2 months. It came in and become a very thin waistline too, and that's what a lot of people notice. The women do too. So when you get rid of those toxins and chemicals, and even if you eat clean, if you're breathing air and you're drinking water, no matter where the water comes from, you're getting toxins in your body.
Now, how is your cleanse different, Sculpt and Cleanse, and what does it do? It's capsules. It's very gentle. It's self-regulating. The problem with most other cleansers is they say, take 5 of these or take 3 scoops of these or take this powder or drink this. And everyone does the same thing. Well, everyone's different. Your body, my body taking 5 capsules and your body taking 5 capsules is going to be a whole different response. One of us is going to one of us is going to be okay and the other guy's going to get tortured. So with Sculpt and Cleanse, it's self-regulating. I tell people start with 1, work up with 2. I give them very specific instructions and they just take it once a day on an empty stomach. Some people only need 1 capsule. Some people need 3 or 4, and I tell them how to regulate it with their bowel movements. They should be having regular bowel movements, between 1 larger one or 2 or 3 a day, and they could be of certain consistency because that's the toxins coming out of you. So that's the best way. So we're out of time, but real quick, is your cleanse kind of for everything, or is it targeting? Because I know, like I was saying, there's ones that target just the liver. Like, is it kind of an overall cleanse?
It's a colon cleanse, but it gets some of the other areas too. If you want a liver cleanse, you do more specific ones. Okay. But you need to start with a colon cleanse first. It's the first step before you do any, because you got to get the toxins out of the colon before you cleanse the liver, the blood, or anywhere else.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's what a lot of people don't know. They jump to these other cleanses and they didn't do the basics.
Great information. Love you, Jim. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, you can go to healthdirectusa.com for more information. And all of my fans out there, if you use promo code OCPeggy today, you will get a special discount. So OCPeggy on healthdirectusa.com.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And it was fabulous spending lunch with you today, everyone. And I will see you next time. Until then, keep it real.
Thank you, Peggy. Thanks for having me on.
And I want to Broadcasting from Newport Beach, Costa Mesa to the universe. 1015 KOCI LPFM.